The guards saluted as I entered, great doors spreading to allow my passage. Humans were rare in the Federation's ranks, but there were a few of us. For the most part we were satisfied to remain separate, providing the requisite military support as an auxiliary force instead of integrating into their units. For some, that wasn't an option. Within, the council was seated. It was rare for them to assemble, and rarer still for them to call for an individual. Either I was in a lot of trouble, or we all were. Captain. I stepped forwards and nodded my head as the council's representative addressed me. How fared your mission? I frowned at the odd line of questioning. I had arrived, which meant that the Tiberian had. A shipping job was typically complete on arrival. Shrugging, I answered honestly. It was a success, the crew is unloading now. Good. The representative smiled and stepped back to rejoin his place in the council. From the back, I heard the leader himself speak for the first time. General Lady has fallen. I froze, that was definitely not good news. I see. That still didn't explain why I was here. We understand that it's a different branch, but our ground forces need a leader. The representative stepped forwards again. We want to offer you the role. I hesitated. I wasn't expecting this at all, and my first instinct was outright refusal. But the longer I thought about it, the fewer qualms I had. Space combat required greater autonomy, and command knew that, allowing us greater flexibility. I had initially joined the Navy to avoid the Federation's suicidally ill-led ground forces. But if I was the general, it wasn't my area of expertise, however, and I still had questions. Why a cross-promotion? The council shared a look, some nodding sagely at the question, and three spoke in turn. Our other choices are inexperienced. They have been trained, but are far too inflexible for this offensive. We have been keeping tabs on you. We have seen how hard you have worked for it, how you run tactical simulations into the late hours, even during your free time. Of the officers remaining, you are the most qualified to lead us. They went silent again, waiting to see my reaction. I swallowed. Very well. I accept. The head of the council smiled. Congratulations on your promotion, General. An elder stepped forwards, pinning the new rank onto my uniform. I assume this would come with the ability to appoint my second in command then. They nodded. It does. What would you have us do? First things first, I want every map of the situation we have. The council nodded, and a soldier stepped forward with a data pad. And your second? Bring me the Tiberian's first engineer. There was some murmuring at that. I was going to promote an engineer, someone without military experience. My first move was an act of favoritism. I wasn't too worried though, they couldn't afford to second-guess my very first decision. Evidently, I was right, as they soon dispatched messengers to retrieve him from the ship. In the meantime, I began to appraise the situation. For the most part, our forces were evenly matched. The enemies were better entrenched, but the shipment of weaponry my crew, the shipment brought by the Tiberian, I corrected myself, was enough to tip the logistical game in our favor. The outcome was going to come down to what we did with it. Before long, the Federation's newest tactician was brought before us. Knowing he had been kept in the dark, I pinned the new rank to front of his engineering uniform before speaking. We've been playing together since long before we got involved in any of this. And in all these years, I have only ever beaten you once. He looked at me, confusion in his eyes. What? He paused, stumbling to find his wording. What do you want me to do? I slid the datapad over with a smirk. I want you to help me command and conquer. Author's name and the link to original text is in the description.